Hello, children. Okay, today is September 17th. This is Thursday. We're going to read about Lesson 3, Managing Stress. And again, all we're going to do is read and you take notes when I tell you to take notes. Thank you. Stress, a natural part of life. Zach is going to be quarterback this afternoon, but he's only played this position once. His mouth feels dry and his stomach feels like butterflies are fluttering inside it. Kendall just found out that she won the part she wanted in the school play. Her heart is pounding. What's going on? Zach and Kendall feel stress. Write this down for your notes, please. Stress is your body's response to changes around you. Ordinary events like forgetting a locker combination or taking a test can cause stress. Big changes like starting a new school, parents divorcing, or a friend moving away also create stress. No matter what the situation, try to remember that stress is a natural part of life. And that happened for me in sixth grade. In sixth grade, obviously, I went to Pitts Middle School, and during that time, we had to learn lockers. My parents got divorced when I was in sixth grade, so that was a very stressful part of my life. Page 42. Types of stress. Stress can be positive or negative. Positive stress is called eustress. Please write this down. This is good for notes. And can help you accomplish tasks, reach goals, and escape danger. It motivates athletes to work hard during practice. As a result, they perform well in competition. Can you think of a positive stress for you? Please write that down in your notes. Please write this vocabulary word and its definition down as well. Distress or negative stress gets in your way and holds you back. Personal problems at home or at school produce negative stress. So do natural disasters like storms or floods. Too much negative stress can be unhealthy. Your body's response to stress. What makes your hands sweat when you worry or your heart jump when you're really happy? It's your body's way of responding to stressors. Please write this vocabulary word and definition, which are objects, people, places, and events that trigger stress. A stressor can set off a chain of events called the fight or flight response. Now, before we do that, I'm going to escape out of this real quick. I'm going to go into the internet. I'm going to talk about fight or flight and tell you who came up with this. We do not use a Wikipedia. There we go. In the 1920s, American psychologist Walter Cannon was the first to describe the fight or flight response. Cannon realized that a chain of rapidly occurring reactions inside the body helps to mobilize the body's resources to deal with threatening circumstances. Today, fight or flight response is recognized as part of the first stage of Hans Selye's general adaptation syndrome, a theory describing stress responses. So now, we are going to go back to the page and understand when it comes to fight or flight, pretty much mammals, reptiles, everyone does this. When in a sense of danger, what they do is they either fight or they fly, they flee, they get out. So again, that's why, when you have your cat, sometimes when something's bothering your cat, you see your cat kind of peek up and raise up its fur. It's giving that the response of wanting to look tough, wanting to look mean, like it wants to fight. Kind of same thing with your dog when you're messing around with it. It has a ball and it growls. It wants to show that it's tough. It wants to show that fight sense of you're not going to take what's mine. Or again, you'll see animals that will run away. People do the same thing. Again, they fight when they have to survive, and they flee the first second they can. This is a survival response. So number one, the stressor stimulates the brain. 2, the brain signals the adrenal glands to send out adrenaline. I'd write this down for a vocabulary word. Adrenaline is the hormone that prepares your body to respond to stressors. 3, the heart gets the message and beats faster. Blood vessels expand as more blood flows to the brain and the muscles. 4, the muscles tighten and become ready for action. 5, breathing deepens and speeds up. Passages in the lungs widen to bring more oxygen into the body. 6, other organs also help the body deal with the stressor. The stomach and intestines slow down their activity to save energy. Once the body's dealt with the stressor, it returns to normal. Page 43. Stress and fatigue. Dealing with too much stress can cause fatigue. Write this word down and definition, or extreme tiredness. There's 2 types of fatigue. I would write these down too. Physical fatigue affects your body. Just write that sentence down. Vigorous physical activity can cause physical fatigue. Rest is the best remedy. That's why you need to get a lot of sleep. And go to sleep at a good amount of time, and, unplug yourself from the world about 30 minutes before you go to sleep. Emotional fatigue comes from feelings of worry, sadness, or boredom. I'd write that sentence down. You can deal with it by removing the source of stress, increasing activity level, and learning ways to manage the stress. On this, children, you see these bullets, these red dots? Again, I would write these down in your notes, but you don't have to write down word for word, but you can write them down the way you can help remember them. I want to go back to something before we do that, though. We talked about you can deal with it with feelings of worry, sadness, or boredom by removing the source of stress, increasing your activity levels, or learning ways to manage the stress. One of the worst things in the world you can do is admit that it doesn't exist. So just by feeling this worry, this sadness, this boredom, and by saying, I'm not worried, I'm not sad, and I'm not bored, keeping that stuff inside is not good for you at all. Because eventually, again, it bottles up. And just like a shaken up soda, once you open that can or that bottle, it explodes everywhere and it makes a mess. Ways to manage stress. How do you keep negative stress from damaging your health? Sometimes you can avoid a stressor. If a bully harasses you on your way home from school, you can walk home a different way. Or you should probably confront that bully too, and in a proper way. Some stressors, however, are simply part of life. You need to learn to manage them. These tips can help. Recognize stress. A funny feeling in your stomach, fast breathing, and pounding heart, all can be signals that you're feeling stress. Manage your time. Set aside regular times to do homework and chores. That way you don't have to rush through to get them done at the last minute. And then you don't do them right. Then you're all stressed out. And then when your parents get mad about how dirty your room is, even though you say you cleaned it, or your teachers, hand back your paper and you didn't get a good grade on it because you didn't take the time to really work on it very hard. You just turned it in to get some points. You got 10 out of 20 instead of 20 out of 20. And you're all stressed out about the bad grade. Again, manage your time. Page 44. Again, keep writing these bullets, please. Set your priorities. We've talked about that with decision-making and SMART goals as far as priorities. Make a list of things you want to accomplish. Decide how important each task is. Focus on one thing at a time. Too many activities, such as practices, club meetings, or after-school work can lead to stress. So when that happens, maybe you need to declutter your life. Maybe you need to say, I can't do this or this or this right now because I need to focus on this activity first. Redirect your energy. Stress increases your energy. Use that energy to do something positive. You can enjoy a hobby or offer to help family members with a project. Again, we've talked about that in the first week, actually second week, where we talked about what do you do to manage your mental health. That's what we talk about, redirecting your energy. When you can, what can you do to redirect your energy to deal with your mental health? Page 45. Again, keep writing these, please. Talk to someone. Talking about stress can relieve the pressure. A parent, friend, or school counselor may give you some good advice. You know, especially if you're mad with a friend, maybe it's good to talk to your parents. If you're mad with your parents, maybe it's good to talk to Mrs. Gibbs. You know, sometimes talking to someone that has no skin in the game, if you will, that can look at something in an objective manner can really help you with that stress. Relax. Take a deep breath and exhale slowly. Do it again. Try to calm yourself when you feel stress. Take time to be alone and fill your mind with positive thoughts. You could also relax by reading or listening to soothing music. Maybe you need to play a video game. Maybe you need to go to a walk. Maybe like these kids on the book, you need to skateboard. Again, we've talked about that with what you do for your mental health. When you're feeling mentally drained, do something that relaxes you and keeps your mind away from what's causing you mental stress. Put things into perspective. Remember that you're not alone. Everyone has stress and problems. Do not make your problems seem bigger than they really are. What we mean by perspective is how we look at something. Again, you may see, your friend dissing you at school or, not want to sit by you one day at lunch as like the worst thing in the world. I can't believe this. Bobby's been my friend since kindergarten and he wouldn't let me sit by him today. Bobby's a jerk. Put in perspective. Maybe something's going on with Bobby. Or maybe Bobby doesn't want to talk. Maybe Bobby's got a stressor and Bobby wants to sit by himself today at lunch. Don't come up and keep bothering Bobby. Keep poking Bobby like you're poking a bear. Do not make problems seem bigger than they really are. Again, that's that decision making that we've talked about when we did that worksheet. Again, ask yourself, how big is this problem? Finally, increase your activity. Becoming more active releases the physical energy that builds up when you feel stress. Physical activity naturally calms the body. Again, physical activities like walking, running, hiking, playing a sport, doing some type of activity is good for you. But again, still something can be like playing a video game, can be a physical activity, because again, you're mentally wired into playing that game, getting your hand-eye coordination going the right way to pass this level, to pass that level. And that's good too. Okay, we're going to stop there for the day. Again, we're going to stop there for the week. We're just going to, again, we just took notes about the last couple of days about mental health and what we can do to calm our stress. You'll have an assignment for this on Monday, the 21st. Thank you very much, children, and have a super sparkly weekend. Go Broncos.